Vanilla fragrances for men. So a lot of people, when they think of vanilla fragrances, they think of fragrances for women, but men also have a wide variety of vanilla fragrances to choose from. And the fact that vanilla is the most universally liked fragrance, it's a good thing to have some vanilla options in your fragrance wardrobe. As always, everything I mention is going to be affiliate links down in the description below in case you're curious. So I'm going to start with, it's kind of typical, but I have to mention the most vanilla fragrance I've ever smelled on men, which is Versace Eros. I know this is a clubbing fragrance. This is definitely not your everyday fragrance, but it has the most intense vanilla note I've ever smelled. I've worn this a few times before myself just to kind of see what the big deal was about, and incredible vanilla. Now, the vanilla doesn't actually come out right away. Actually, the vanilla kind of comes out about an hour or so after the fragrance starts to dry down a little bit, and from there, the vanilla just gets stronger and stronger. Now, the thing about this is that it is a clubbing fragrance, so it's great for if you're going clubbing, but what if you're not going clubbing? I would say the only other instance this could work without kind of smelling just a little bit show-offy, a little bit too even obnoxious in some occasions. Winter. You could wear this easily during the winter or just in general when it's cold. Because the vanilla note is so warm and cozy and strong, it works really, really well for cold weather and of course evening wear, but definitely not formal evening wear. Like I said, this is more of a party sort of thing. But yeah, clubbing and winter. This is a good option for both of those. I have to say, the vanilla note in this is delicious. It is cozy, warm, very attractive, and very strong. Then, if you want to go, you don't want to go into the realm of clubbing. Instead, you can go for this very nice jazz club from Replica Jazz Club here. So this is a very unique scent because it is all about replicating what the inside of a jazz club is supposed to smell like. So obviously you're getting something very unique here. There's a little bit of tobacco, some boozy notes, and then of course the vanilla. So the vanilla here is definitely not as strong as the vanilla in Versace Eros, which is a hard feat to match. But this is definitely a more modest, but still very prominent vanilla fragrance. The main thing the vanilla is competing with is the tobacco, which is, I would say, a very sultry note, very attractive. This is, like I said, very unique fragrance overall. I haven't smelled anything that smells remotely similar to this, with all the different notes coming together. So definitely if you want to be more mysterious, you can imagine yourself in a jazz club, obviously this is a good option. This is perhaps the best option if you want to smell like a jazz club. But yeah, definitely on the more mild side with the vanilla, but still very prominent. Then, this one is actually one of my personal favorites. This is Oud Satin Mood. So, this is unisex. I've heard some people say it's a little bit more on the feminine side, which is, you can kind of see it, but I would argue it's a pretty solid unisex option. So, primarily, this is a blend between oud and Turkish rose, but there is a very powerful vanilla note in here as well. So anyone who smelled oud, you should know that it is a very musky, woodsy note, which makes this fragrance pretty heavy. Heavier definitely than average. Then mixed with the rose adds a touch of sweetness, but rose, this type of rose in general, is not super sweet, it's just very natural. And then the vanilla, which again is not super sweet, more of just a kind of smooth, warm vanilla. Very, very delicious scent. Very long lasting, 9 hours minimum. And this is also a super luxury option. I would say, if you've got a special occasion going on, or a nice, you want to have a nice dinner or something, this is a great option. It is so unique, this fragrance just in general. I've not smelled anything similar to it, and it is niche, so it's not too mainstream. So when you wear this, it is, you can part the Red Sea with this. This is you know, something unforgettable, and it's just a beautiful fragrance, very, very attractive, with that blend between the oud, the vanilla, and the rose. So I mean, definitely great to give this a chance. It is more on the expensive side, but like I said, for special occasions, this is a great option. Then, another one, which is unisex as well. There is Monera Red Tobacco. So, from the name, there's tobacco in this, and it's a very unique type of tobacco. Because some tobacco fragrances are a little bit overwhelming, but this is very smooth. And I would say this is definitely on the sweeter side, but the tobacco really drags down that sweetness and makes sure it's not too feminine. You know, again, still right in the middle of that unisex, the realm of things. And the sweetness comes from the Madagascar vanilla that this has, which is delicious. It is, I would say the vanilla is kind of on the same line as the vanilla in Versace Eros. But of course you're mixing this with tobacco. So you're getting this really heavy tobacco note and then mixing it with the sweeter vanilla note, and you get this really interesting kind of harmony between those two very different notes. Very, very long lasting. I would say 8 to 9 hours. Definitely, I would say this is one of the most unique smelling fragrances I've ever smelled, just because of how it blends, you know, the tobacco and the vanilla. It is not something that too many fragrances dare to do. You know, they're either, you know, full-on tobacco or full-on vanilla, but this really blends both of those and does a really good job with it. So definitely, if you want to stand out from the crowd, this is a good option. I would say it's a little bit more of a cold weather scent, because it is definitely on the warmer side, but it is pretty versatile, so you could probably wear it, you know, whenever, wherever you want. But it's a pretty nice fragrance to wear. I often wear it these days. It is just an unbelievable fragrance. But the last one that I actually don't have. It is Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. So this is a very famous one. Pretty much everyone's heard about it, and it is indeed the tobacco vanilla fragrance. Now obviously Monera Red Tobacco is its own type of tobacco vanilla fragrance. But the Tom Ford one kind of does it in a completely different way. It is not quite as sweet, I would say, as the Monera Red Tobacco. It's more bourbon vanilla, more I guess more masculine is what I would say. You know, less unisex and more on the masculine side. The vanilla note is still very powerful. Again, kind of similar to that vanilla in the Versace Eros. And the tobacco is super strong. I mean, super smoky, kind of like a fine cigar, that sort of thing. But, you know, if you had to choose between Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille or the Monera Red Tobacco, there's not too much of a difference. Besides, I would say, like I said before, the Monera is a little bit sweeter. So, you know, you could kind of pick and choose there, but both very good options. So, those are my main picks for masculine vanilla scents for men. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, of course, you can leave a comment, leave a like, or maybe subscribe. I also make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.